Thank you, Lindsay. Good evening and welcome. We are going to begin this evening with grace from our student, Bridget Murphy.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Dear Lord, thank you for the meal we are about to eat, and please bless the dining hall staff who prepared it. Thank you for everyone who made this event possible, for the strong community of women here, and for Miss Bean's leadership. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Thank you, Bridget. I realize this evening that there are actually a lot of those of you in the room who do not know me. I'm Rachel Stone. I am head of school here at Canterbury, and it is wonderful to meet yet another sort of layer of the family of Canterbury. So thank you for indulging me in introducing yourselves and parts of your stories here this evening. Thank you. It is an honor to welcome all of you this evening to the 2017 Women of Canterbury Dinner. It is no surprise that this year's event boasts the largest number of alumni in attendance to date, including 11 of our past Women of Canterbury co-presidents. Sandy, there is an overwhelming amount of love for you in this room tonight. We will kick off tonight's celebration by welcoming members of our student vocal ensemble who are accompanied by Miss Amy Vanisco.
Somebody's lack of love, but I wonder what could happen. I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show. I wanna see you, just wanna see you. I wanna see you. Show me your smile.
Everybody's been there, everybody's been there.
I'm happy, can't remember when.
Falling for the fear and down to disappear.
I saw you
bow down to the mighty.
If this world makes you
Don't
crazy
run.
and you're taking all you
Just
can
stop
bear,
holding
just
your
call
tongue.
me up.
Maybe there's a
And you
way
know I'll
out
be
of the
there.
cage where you live.
Call me up.
Maybe one of these
know I'll be
days you can let the light in.
Call me up,
Show
come on.
me
How big your brave is. Say what you wanna say, and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave. What you wanna say, and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave. Don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. Your true colors are beautiful.
and since your history of silence,
I can't remember when I saw you laughing.
let your words be anything but empty.
Just call me up, but you know I'll be there. Say what you wanna say, and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave. Brave, don't be afraid. I wanna see you be brave. I wanna see you, just wanna see you.
to really get the evening's program going, I am very pleased to introduce our three co-presidents of this year's Women of Canterbury, Sarah Buckingham, Sinead O'Donnell, and Julia Della Russo.
And now we are happy to share with you a look back at 26 years of Women of Canterbury. In the spring of 1991, the media was giving extensive coverage to gender issues on college campuses. Mrs. Bean, along with two other female faculty members, thought Canterbury's female sixth formers could be better prepared for what college social life might bring them. They decided to hold a meeting with the sixth form girls to discuss issues for women on college campuses. Shortly thereafter, Mrs. Bean and the school's chaplain met with members of the Hotchkiss faculty regarding gender issues. At the time, Canterbury had been co-educational for 20 years, but girls were still in the minority. In the 1990-1991 school year, 1/3 of the boarders were female, and females were 39% of the total population. Several female faculty members were aware that girls were upset by some inequities in the athletic program and that some social situations made girls very uncomfortable. For instance, upper form boys staked out the dining tables in the dining hall and the snack bar, and girls felt uncomfortable walking through on their way to get lunch because of the scrutiny and the occasional comment. Mrs. Bean decided to form an organization for the Canterbury girls in the fall of 1991. Knowing what the acronym for Canterbury Organization for Women would be, COW, she chose the name Women of Canterbury. Early in the year, a letter was sent to parents announcing the formation of the organization. In the beginning, the goal was primarily to support girls and provide a forum for discussing issues affecting them. In that first year, the girls held many discussion groups and viewed relevant videos.
Not everyone thought an organization for girls was a wonderful idea. One faculty member commented, "If you didn't talk about these things, they wouldn't be an issue." This skepticism endured in many quarters throughout the years. Even very recently, a Canterbury sixth former said, "As a freshman, I could not understand why there would be a group specifically for women. But today, I could not imagine life without it." Miss Bean carried on believing that making Canterbury more comfortable for girls was good for the entire Canterbury community. She regularly hears comments from Canterbury girls that support her belief. "Women of Canterbury helps me talk about the things I don't usually talk about with others," said one girl. And another said, "I was able to find a place where I could be myself, be involved in the community, and help others in the school have a more enjoyable experience." Throughout the years, many different faculty members have helped Miss Bean advise Women of Canterbury. Miss Roth, Miss Manler, Miss Tester, among them. But Miss Bean has been the constant guiding light, the person who organized the meetings, took care of the food, contacted outside sources, ordered supplies, and went shopping. From the beginning, Miss Bean wanted Women of Canterbury to be fun as well as issue oriented. She knows how important food is to making any gathering a success, and food was always a feature of the meetings. One of the first events of each year has been the ice cream social to welcome new female students. A recent graduate commented, "Women of Canterbury was the first club on campus I joined. I went to get the free ice cream and pizza. 3 years later, what makes me happy to be involved is it does more than help girls to feel empowered around campus." Every announcement of a meeting includes a sentence about food. Our members have enjoyed pizza, McDonald's, Quiznos subs, ice cream sundaes, lasagna, ice cream floats, and full dinners. The refrigerators in the Brody room and in the science department office are really important accessories for the Women of Canterbury.
Women of Canterbury meets nearly every week, sometimes for issue-oriented discussions or to hear a guest speaker, sometimes to work on fundraising projects, sometimes just to have fun. Very soon after founding the organization, the mission was expanded to include a goal of promoting leadership and concern for girls and women beyond Canterbury's campus. We work to understand and appreciate difficulties that are specific to women around the globe and reach out to women in need of assistance. In the first year of Women of Canterbury's existence, the organization gave diapers and gifts to the Teen Parent Program of Women's Center of Danbury. As AIDS began to affect Connecticut for several years, Women of Canterbury donated Christmas stockings and monetary contributions to the Northwest Connecticut AIDS Project. They also purchased Christmas gifts for the teenage son of a local woman who had AIDS. In 2001, they gave Christmas stockings to the Women's Support Service in Falls Village. In 2004, they gave $600 in food certificates to Stop and Shop to the Susan B. Anthony Project and the Northwest Connecticut AIDS Project. In 2002, they donated books to the Women's Prison and clothing to the Midnight Run for Homeless Women. These are just examples of the projects undertaken by the group. And when a need arose in the Canterbury community, Women of Canterbury responded. They raised money to replace the wedding ring of Maya, a kitchen worker who had lost it. They contributed towards a plane ticket for Katie, another kitchen worker, to fly to China to see her family. When a faculty member had breast cancer surgery and follow-up chemotherapy, Women of Canterbury volunteers babysat her children and walked the family dog.
The organizations that the Women of Canterbury support changed throughout the years, but community service has continued to be a big part of the organization. For 10 years, the girls, along with some faculty members, have dyed up to 150 eggs to give to the homeless in New York City. The money raised by Mr. Canterbury pageant has been donated to New Milford Social Services. It is a lot of work to accomplish the things we do for others and to create nice events for Canterbury girls. Every Christmas, we gather to write letters for Santa's elves to faculty, children, and grandchildren. We stuff dozens of pumpkins for students at Halloween and bags for Valentine's and Easter. For 17 years, each Valentine's Day, we have sold anywhere from 400 to 1,000 carnations. This requires lots of prep work and work on the day the carnations are delivered. We honor the sixth form girls with 2 events in their last year at Canterbury. We put on a Christmas dinner for sixth form girls, and in May, there is a sixth form girls farewell dinner. The fifth form girls write a poem about each sixth form girl, and we have a night of tears and laughter as we say goodbye. We have learned that working together can be rewarding and fun. As one girl said, that I have fun while doing good for others baffles me. And another girl commented, I enjoy the bonding that comes with stuffing stockings in baskets, delivering birthday bags, and gathering in the Hume Science Lecture Room and the Brody Room. Collaboration has been an enduring principle of the Women of Canterbury, and to encourage this, the organization has always had co-presidents, rather than just one president. In addition, each form has 5 or more officers. This is an organization where Canterbury's women can develop leadership skills. As one girl put it, I've seen past Women of Canterbury presidents and the impact and leadership they've had on Women of Canterbury and on girls outside of Women of Canterbury. Their leadership has inspired me to be a leader. We are happy to have several past presidents with us tonight. Please stand to be recognized. Andrea Thomas DeRizio, class of 1997. Colleen Cook, class of 1992. Shannon Zuloff, pronounced Zuloff, oh sorry, okay, class of 2004, okay. Morgan Hopkins, class of 2006. Caitlin Castine, class of 2007. Bridget Heaton, class of 2007. Kate Briscoe, class of 2008. Sarah DeAndrea, class of 2009. Lily Bernadelle, class of 2011. And Samantha Ostreicher, class of 2014. and Mary Levine, class of 2016.
Did you get this one?
Thank you. And Sydney Treza, class of 2013. Mrs. Bean herself is also a role model for leadership. As one girl said, "I absolutely love women of Canterbury and Mrs. Bean for her hard work and dedication to the clubs and the girls. Her hard work inspires me to do more."
Some of our events are meant just to be with each other and bond. One of the fun events that started in 1997 and that we have every year is the lock-in, where we are locked in the night in Brody Room and Piggott Arena. We bring sleeping bags, have all kinds of snacks, and spend the night playing games and talking. Women of Canterbury has caused us to make friends with girls we might have not known otherwise. One of our international girls commented, "When I went to the Women of Canterbury dinner, I saw how Women of Canterbury has built relationships and gave every girl different memories. I thought, do I really want to do nothing but study and play sports in high school? I began to go beyond that. So you might ask, where do you get the money to pay for your donations, the food, guest speakers, the trips to the theater? Yes, we've done that too. In the first years, we did several raffles. We make some money selling carnations, Halloween pumpkins, and Valentine's Day goodies, but we also sell stuff. One of our first sales projects was wooden images of Canterbury buildings, such as the chapel and Sheehan House. On Parents' Weekend, we've sold fall wreaths, Christmas decorations, vanilla extract, and handcrafted Women of Canterbury earrings. And as a special demonstration, we present you 3 young women featuring clothes and accessories we have offered. So the first is with flip-flops, a Woman of Canterbury hat, and a shirt. Okay. Skylar.
Thank you. Now, in 2017, the 26th year of Women of Canterbury, we speak for the hundreds of women who have benefited from being a part of this awesome organization. We had new experiences. As one girl said, "I sewed my first dress, molded my first batch of chocolate, and helped dye my first Easter eggs in Women of Canterbury." We were changed. We know many women that would echo what one girl said. "If it weren't for Women of Canterbury, I would probably be this little, shy, and timid girl who wouldn't speak out and would be afraid to voice her opinion. But I am not that girl. I am a strong, courageous, well-spoken girl who's not afraid to stand up for what she believes in."
A Maya Angelou quote resonates with me when I think about Women of Canterbury. "At the end of the day, people won't remember what you said or did. They'll remember how you made them feel." Even when I was a third former and hesitant to go to meetings and participate in discussions, I felt included and I felt accepted. That is a feeling that everyone deserves to feel. I am honored to be standing in front of you today. I am honored to be part of an organization that has made such an impact on this school's community for over 20 years. Time is a scary thing. It is crazy that I was going to my first Women of Canterbury dinner 4 years ago, completely unaware of how it would change my life. I didn't know it would spark such a passion. I didn't know that I would learn about the injustices and the inequalities in the world. Anyone who knows me knows that I like to see the positive side of things. Sometimes it is hard for me to acknowledge that these awful things exist. But another thing people know about me is that I am determined. I am determined to use my voice to make a difference and spread awareness. Women of Canterbury focuses on women empowerment. I am beyond grateful to have had a place to learn and discuss things that I deeply care about. I hope to continue to empower the people around me for the rest of my life. I am blessed to have been raised by a strong woman, my mother, and my grandmothers, who have taught me the value and importance of hard work and compassion. I was taught to always be myself and to be comfortable in my own skin. Our uniqueness is beautiful, and everybody's beauty is something that deserves to be recognized and celebrated. I would like to thank Mrs. Bean for creating and preserving Women of Canterbury and allowing me to learn so much about myself and the world around me. Women of Canterbury will forever have a huge place in my heart.
As my two other co-presidents will tell you, Women of Canterbury has made a positive impact on us that will last a lifetime. Women of Canterbury has allowed me to step out of my comfort zone. It has allowed me to partner with an amazing group of girls to encourage a positive environment for all Canterbury women. As a new sophomore, I had no idea what clubs I should join. Women of Canterbury was the first one I joined. The name certainly caught my attention, and the thought of pizza and ice cream once a week sounded like a great idea. I was curious to learn more. The first meeting of the year always consists of seniors standing on the table in the middle of the Brody room while all the underclassmen run around playing musical chairs. This meeting made me want to stay a part of this club. Everyone was welcoming and this gave me a new group of people to interact with. Everyone has a voice, and Women of Canterbury emphasizes that. Women of Canterbury is the type of club that you want to come back to, and the connection you make with other girls is incredible. Spending time with this group of girls, sharing ideas, discussing these issues, and just laughing a lot because something I really looked forward to each time we met. The Women of Canterbury became a place I could voice my opinion and share my views and ideas. As a result of this experience, I gained more confidence in who I am and how I can make a difference in the world. Women of Canterbury has become a very important part of which led me to my success at Canterbury. I would like to thank Ms. Bean for all that she has done for me personally and Women of Canterbury. I was fortunate to travel to Montana last summer on the Canterbury leadership trip, and when I became sick with a bad ear infection, Ms. Bean didn't hesitate for a moment and offered to drive me an hour away to see the closest doctor. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve with my co-presidents under her guidance. Thank you.
There's not much more to say that hasn't already been said. Thank you, Sarah and Julia. It has been a true privilege to be a co-president with you this year. So I'd like to give one last thank you to Mrs. Bean and the Women of Canterbury. Thank you for creating a space and organization like no other. There are many reasons why Women of Canterbury is my favorite organization at Canterbury. But one of the things I will remember most is the unique atmosphere that allowed for both fun and learning. To be honest, my freshman year, I came to the first meeting because of the pizza. At 15, I was blissfully unaware of the setbacks and prejudice that women faced and the dire need for groups that address these issues. It was easy for me to assume that the world did not need feminism because at that time in my life, I had not needed feminism. However, I quickly learned that there is much need for improvement around the world. This really only clicked with the 1 billion rising movement in February. If there were really 1 billion people who felt they needed to stand up to end violence against women, then the world was not as perfect as I had thought. I was exposed to the inequalities of the world and allowed to voice my opinion and even take action to change through the Women of Canterbury. I thank Women of Canterbury for this new perspective of the world and myself. Although I know I may never find another organization quite like Women of Canterbury, I am excited to find new groups and people with similar missions. And I find relief in knowing that I will always be a part of this community, no matter how far away I am from New Milford. Thank you.
Thank you, Shirley and Genevieve and Skylar and Sarah and Julia and Sinead. Thank you. It is now my great pleasure to introduce tonight's guest speaker, Kate Briscoe, who is a former Women of Canterbury co-president and a graduate of the class of 2008. Kate.
Good evening, everyone.
Can everyone in the back hear me okay? Can I get a thumbs up if you can hear me? Perfect, thank you. Good evening to all of you amazing women of Canterbury in the audience. I'm so honored to be celebrating Miss Bean with you, and it's so hard to believe that 9 years ago, I was in the audience myself for my sixth form Women of Canterbury spring dinner. By show of hands, how many current students do we have tonight? Excellent. How many alumni and past Women of Canterbury presidents? So many. And how about faculty and current parents or families? And I can guarantee it that at one point or another, Miss Bean has positively influenced all of you in the room. I had an absolutely incredible Canterbury experience. I definitely entered as an awkward 14-year-old with ill-fitting Talbot's blazers, but like all of my peers, I had turned into a semi-functional young adult by the time I was a sixth former. And without a doubt, the highlight of my career was my participation in Women of Canterbury and the relationship that I had with Miss Bean. My introduction to Miss Bean and Women of Canterbury was similar to a lot of you. I was a third former looking for activities, and in September, I went to the first Women of Canterbury meeting with my friends, the Ganji twins. The room, Nicole Ganji's here tonight. Hi, Nicole. The room was absolutely packed with female students of all ages. And the co-president at the time, Annie Weber, described the wonderful all-women's discussions, activities, and free pizza that were the key highlights of the program. Of particular interest to me were the overnight lock-ins in the Brody room. We were so enamored with the thought of having a sleepover party with the smart and funny upperclassmen like Maggie Jenkins and Morgan Hopkins, who's also here tonight, that we knew we had to be a part of Women of Canterbury right away. We were so thrilled that older girls genuinely wanted to get to know us and spend time with us outside of sports teams. Let me make it really clear that a program like Women of Canterbury is not common in many school settings, where students rarely interact with peers from different grades. From my first Women of Canterbury meeting, I was hooked. I religiously attended every meeting, and I started building a relationship with Miss Bean. Some of my friends were in Miss Bean's advisory group, and one day I just started sneaking in and joining Miss Bean's advisory dinners for not only the pizza, but for the relevant, honest, and really wonderful discussions that took place. During those times, we talked about absolutely everything. We talked about women's physical and mental wellness, how to have positive peer relationships, and of course, who the cutest boys on the hockey team were. I'll always remember Miss Bean being frank, patient, and honest with us about not only our little Canterbury microcosm, but women's places in the world. And I felt so inspired by her passion for social justice. After my third form year, I was definitely what you'd call a Sandra Bean groupie. I started helping Miss Bean during my free periods in the school day and helping her to organize Women of Canterbury materials and projects. I spent a lot of time laughing and sometimes crying with her in that tiny science department office and learning more about her incredible family, the wonderful and kind Mr. Bean, and I learned more about her daughters and granddaughters, who were equally smart and passionate women. As a day student from New Milford, I spent several weeks over the summer with future co-president Caroline Bell, helping Miss Bean to clean out the science classrooms and organize for the upcoming school year. I think it should be known that Miss Bean is a level 10 hoarder, and we had to convince her on multiple occasions to throw away some really stinky and expired specimens. Being in that dusty science room was certainly terrifying, but Miss Bean, she always made up for it with lunch from JoJo's Deli, and of course, plenty of free candy. As an underclassman and a small fish in a big Canterbury pond, she made me feel valued. She made me feel that my contributions were important. Miss Bean made me feel that my voice and opinion really mattered in a world where female voices are often a minority. And I brought my tissue, so I'm good. Thank you, thank you. And my Women of Canterbury participation led to being a peer counselor which was run by Miss Bean. We can all say that all together, which was run by Miss Bean. And then I went on the Montana trip, which was led by Miss Bean. And then I was part of the True Blue Spirit Committee, which was organized by Miss Bean. And then I took Women's Studies, which was taught by Miss Bean. And all of these programs, they were and they still are so crucial for young men and women learning to cultivate their future leadership skills. I've spent the past few months reflecting on my relationship with Miss Bean, and I would like to leave you with some of the lessons that I've carried with me from my time at Canterbury to now in my career as an elementary school educator. Lesson number 1, and I'm so glad that the current co-presidents reflected on this as well, to connect with others, you need to feed them. You need to literally feed them, but you also need to feed them spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Women of Canterbury, by far, has the best snacks of any group on campus. We were notorious for handing out Christmas and Valentine's Day bags of candy, as well as delivering cakes for students' birthdays. But all joking aside, women of Canterbury nourished us spiritually and emotionally. As third formers, we wrote letters to our future sixth form selves that we opened at the senior girls' dinner. It was so remarkable to look back and reflect on how far we had come. At our regular dinners, we had many roundtable discussions about women's achievements, issues, and rights, both nationally and on the global scale. Miss Bean introduced us to the phenomenal Gloria Steinem and Eve Ensler. She would host countless sleepover lock-ins for us in the Brody room. And one time, she even brought a dancer on campus to teach us how to belly dance. And let me tell you, Sandy Bean's hips don't lie. She's probably mortified right now. I'm sorry, Miss Bean. Lesson number 2 from Miss Bean is that mentor and friendships are so vital to our success as women. Miss Bean always emphasized that we need to be there for each other. During my time at Canterbury, Miss Roth and Miss Bean worked so closely together to support women of Canterbury, and I'm personally convinced that they invented the hashtag squad goals. Talk about modeling positive female adult relationships. Because of Miss Bean, my Women of Canterbury friends and I, we celebrate each other's bridal and baby showers. We send cards in times of sadness, and we send flowers in times of joy. Last summer, I was a bridesmaid in Brianna Carasillo's wedding, fellow class of 2008. In my current job at an independent school in Brooklyn, I work closely with teacher Michelle McLaughlin, who was the class of 1996. My sister-in-law is Megan McDonald from the class of 1990. And what do we all have in common? We were all women of Canterbury. To all of you wonderful current students in the room, the Women of Canterbury bond, it's going to manifest itself in really unexpected and really delightful ways throughout your lifetime. Lesson number 3, and this one I'm really serious about. Miss Bean and other female scientists are extremely badass. Let me explain. After I graduated from college, I joined Teach for America, and I taught elementary school science. Do you think the fact that I taught science was a coincidence? It certainly wasn't. For 35 years, and as the science department chair, Miss Bean showed the Canterbury community that yes, women are successful in STEM fields, and yes, the female-heavy science department is vitally important to inspiring the future scientists of America. Her female peers in the science department during my time were the phenomenal Miss Roth, Dr. Lee, and Mrs. Chandler. 5 of the former students from my AP Bio class are now doctors or scientists or science teachers. Well done, Canterbury, on supporting so many outstanding female scientists in the department and for choosing Miss Bean to be their fearless leader. My passion for teaching elementary school science has led me to my current role as the Director of Early Learning at an independent school in Brooklyn. And now I leave you with my final lesson learned from Miss Bean. And it's also a lesson from the magic school bus scientist, Miss Frizzle. Take chances, make mistakes, get messy. When I was 25, my principal asked me to be the inaugural director of early learning at my elementary school. We were opening an additional preschool for the following school year, and they needed someone to lead the program, recruit students, hire faculty, and develop curriculum. As my fellow educators in the room know, I was honored, but I was also terrified. I was 25. What did I know about directing a lower school program as a teacher so young in her career? But then I thought back to the time in that tiny science office with Miss Bean, where she taught me that hard work, taking risks, and channeling my inner fearless Gloria Steinem would make this journey worthwhile. And it has been. Sandy Bean has served the Canterbury community for 35 years and provided thousands of women with a safe space, a loving presence, and so many opportunities for greatness. She has not only been the inspiration and mentor of my lifetime, but for so many others. I'm so excited for this next chapter for her. Miss Bean, I love you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. And now, it's my honor to begin our presentation of the 2017 Woman of the Year Award. Sandy Bean arrived at Canterbury in the fall of 1982, having returned to Connecticut after teaching abroad for several years in both Samoa and Germany. A worldly and experienced educator, Sandy quickly assumed a central, positive role as a member of the Canterbury community for the next 35 years. Among the many, many hats Sandy has worn, she has served as dorm parent in Carmody, track coach, and science chair, yes, the longest serving academic department head in Canterbury's history. She has inspired a true sense of scientific wonder among her students and pioneered a neuroscience course for sixth formers. Sandy has long been the internal coordinator of John and Dana Donovan's Montana Leadership Program, which entwines the study of ecology with leadership skills developed through immersion in outdoor experiences. She has organized and guided our peer tutoring program and has been invaluable in her role as school counselor and a member of our guidance advisory board. While Sandy has surely impacted the lives of all students, boys and girls alike, her interest in the young women of Canterbury was first illustrated by her critical role in the formation of the Co-Education Committee in 1984, as well as when she co-taught a women's studies course for some years. Sandy envisioned and brought to life the institutionally vibrant Women of Canterbury program, for which she has served as faculty advisor since its inception 26 years ago. The collective spirit and affirmation in the room this evening are a clear reminder of the indelible mark Sandy will leave on Women of Canterbury and our school. For more than a quarter century, the names Mrs. Bean and Women of Canterbury have surely been synonymous. We are profoundly grateful for the legacy Sandy has left our school and for the courage, character, and sense of community she has gifted to our female students and graduates. Sandy has encouraged them to challenge themselves and their views of the world. She has modeled for them the importance of offering unconditional support and honoring the beauty and potential found in all people. She has instilled in them a dedication to give back to their school as well as the world beyond this hilltop campus. Yes, Sandy's nurturing leadership, compassion, gravitas, and ever-present sense of humor have been instrumental in fostering and sustaining a culture that prioritizes self-reliance, empowerment, and hope. For all of these reasons, Sandy has inspired our girls to truly thrive. Indeed, Canterbury women have no greater ally than Sandy Bean. At this time, I'd like to invite fifth former Megan Tracy to join us at the podium. Megan was the impetus behind putting together a beautiful book of tributes and messages for Sandy as she prepares for retirement. Megan? And let's bring Kate back up. So now, on behalf of the entire Canterbury community, it is my distinct pleasure to present Sandy Bean, the 2017 recipient of the Woman of the Year Award. Okay, well, I don't have to tell you how overwhelmed I am. So, I wrote myself a few notes, and I swore I was going to just stand up here just a very short period of time, because I thought I might not be able to hold it together. So, I want to thank you, Rachel, for allowing the school to do this, and I want to thank all the girls that are part of Women of Canterbury this year and the past few years, and are in the room. I'm overwhelmed with the number of former presidents that have come. It's wonderful, and former alums, and so many friends and teachers and everybody that's here. I really appreciate it very much. Kate, what you said was really beautiful. So I thank you so much. I hope I really did all those things. I could have said, oh, I did all those things. Anyway, my time with Kate, as you can tell, was really special, as it has been with a number of girls, and how well I remember it. I really laughed when you talked about cleaning the labs, and there are some people in this room who share what you felt about doing that. They have been there too. And when you mentioned hoarding, I remember Chloe Sigolito and Sarah DeAndrea were co-presidents together, and they used to come back, even when they were in college, and help me. And I was just amazed that they would want to do that. So they helped when they were here, and then they kept coming back. And so one year in the hoarding realm, Chloe said, you really don't need all of these pictures. And she wanted to throw them away. And I said, well, you can't throw them away, you know? And she said, why not? And I said, well, I don't know why not, but I'm not throwing them away. And then she got a hold of my old grade books and decided that those needed to be thrown away. And I wouldn't let her throw them away. And she said, okay, I am going to just rip out the pages, and then I'm going to type them up. And she started doing that, and she threw away a couple of them, and then I began to think, no, you just can't throw those away. So anyway, I still have all those grade books. And then when, for instance,
Ildiko Sandor was helping me put together this slideshow. And so we, worked on it and kept working on it. And then I turned it over to Kathy Bolster the other day, and she was trying to download them, and she was having problems downloading them onto a flash drive because there were over 700 pictures, which I had no idea we had put that many in. But that's just a smidgen of how many I really do have. So anyway, so that's why there is this endless show going on. Anyway, I thought about the history that the girls were reading, and so this is why it's good that I hoard. So Lou Mandler deserves a great amount of thanks for the weeks that she put in going through my folders. Now, I might be a hoarder, but they're organized. And so I had binders like this, a number of them, and she came one day and she said, well, I'll just take them all home and I will go through them. And so she did that for days and took all these notes, and then one day she came back and she had an armload of them, and she said, okay, here are the binders. And I said, well, that's not all of them. I have more for you. And she said, more? So she took the rest of them and she ended up going through all of them and then trying to condense it into a good overview and a nicely done history. And I really appreciate that she's done that. And I want to thank Cammie for all the years of helping me. There are times when she was not too happy about doing the lock-ins. She said, do I really have to sleep there with you? So sometimes she would come and stay till about midnight and then leave. And there I was alone, sleeping, or not sleeping, I should say. But, I just can't thank enough people for all the support and all of the girls' work. And I hope that they become, which I know they will, the world's leaders. And we already see it in the grads that we have met tonight and others. I can't take all of the credit. Canterbury is a wonderful place for girls. We no longer have so many athletic situations that we are raging about. That doesn't happen anymore. And they play a lot more sports than they ever did before, and they're better at it than ever before. They have all the wonderful role models in the classroom now. We no longer have to face being called cows. And, I really have to thank our former headmaster, Mr. Sheehy, because what you don't know is that in those first years, when I first started, and I think to myself, well, what was I thinking? Did I think I was going to do this for a year? Or what? I mean, I don't know what I was thinking. And then years rolled into years. But in those beginning years, I used to go marching up to his office in a rage and say, I just can't believe the things these faculty members say. They don't get it. They think I'm some kind of a raving maniac. And I'm like the opposite of that, I think. Maybe my husband wouldn't agree. And he would say, I gotcha. He said, just keep going ahead. I will take care of those problems. Don't try to take care of those problems. And that was the best advice he gave, because otherwise I was going to give up. So anyway, just a little history that it was not easy in the beginning. And I don't know what drove me. I really don't. One of the people I have to thank is my husband. He is the best feminist, and he has put up with so he's put up with so much time alone because I'm here all the time. And but he always encourages me and says it's worth it. It's worth it for these girls. And fortunately, he has a number of girls that he's met over the years and on the Montana trips. So, and we only had girls, so he knows, he gets it. He gets girls. Anyway, if I'm not thanking all the people that I need to thank, I really apologize. But I really think there is something unique about Women of Canterbury, and it's been an immensely important thing to me. And so I hope it's been immensely important to a lot of girls. And, putting the historic perspective on everything was a good thing, and it made me realize it was worth it. And it's not that I'm leaving and never coming back. I would be coming back and sharing in a lot of things if I can possibly do that. And so I hope to see lots and lots of alums over the years. And I'm very proud of all of the female graduates and how accomplished they've become, and they're wonderful role models for our girls at Canterbury. And anyway, I really just appreciate tonight, and thank you very much. And then I just want to add a little housekeeping thing. Mark Vanas would like to take a picture with all the alums together with me, and all the presidents together with me, if we could do that after, before you all run away. So once again, thank you so much, and I'm really overwhelmed, and I hope you had a good night.
Hard to sum up quickly, but what an amazing evening, and congratulations again, and thank you again, Sandy. Before we do an official close, we have some singing, and then we're going to have a benediction, and then we will have a good night.
I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. The struggles I'm facing, the chances I'm taking, sometimes might knock me down, but no, I'm not breaking. I may not know it, but these are the moments I'm gonna remember most. And I gotta be strong. Just keep pushing on. There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb.
Please receive this benediction. May the joy of the evening enliven you. May the sisterhood of the evening encourage you. May Mrs. Bean's career, life, and dedication inspire you. May the road to our city on the hill always welcome you back home. And may the Lord bless you and keep you and make his face to shine upon you always, forevermore. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Ebony. Class of 1993. I just want to quickly thank Ebony and Kate for being here this evening. We do have flowers for you, Ebony. Mark? All right. One final thanks to all of our guests, students, parents, alumni. There are daughters here this evening, of course, faculty and staff. All of you who comprise Canterbury's extraordinary community of women. It truly is a privilege to join this family. Thank you and good night.